We all know the trade walk is a critical step of the sale, but when you actually execute that trade walk, could be making you a ton of money or it could be costing you a ton of money. Which are you? Hi, I'm Tim Kintz, and I want to talk about one of the most important steps of the sale, the trade walk, or some of you guys may know it of the silent walk around. I talk about it as your pre-demo trade walk. I always taught, most of us were taught, I was taught 26 years ago in the car business to do my silent walk around, my trade walk after the demo, right? You come back from the demo, you get out of your car, then you walk around the customer's car, you touch all the dents, you touch the dings, you don't actually say anything about it and hope that they tell you all the problems on that car. You get the mileage then, and you pretty much devalue the customer's vehicle, right? Most of you guys out there have probably been taught that way. Well, it's okay to do that, but the reality is most of us don't do it there. And number two is, think about this. I do a great job through the entire sales process, building rapport, finding common ground, getting the customer excited. They're at the highest level of enthusiasm and excitement in the entire deal at the end of the demo. So now I'm gonna go over and start beating their car up. I'm gonna start beating up their trade. So now what am I doing with all their excitement? What am I doing with all that customer's enthusiasm? Am I raising it or am I chipping away at it? Yeah, aren't I turning that customer kind of negative? I mean, now I'm starting to beat their trade up just before I sit down to negotiate. And that really doesn't make that much sense, does it? Because now I'm getting ready to go into the logical part of the deal, and now I'm making that customer less excited and less emotional. So we have a better way. We have a better way to execute a trade walk, to execute, I call it your unsilent walk around, and it needs to be done pre-demonstration drive, okay? Before you go on a demo, from now on, I want you guys walking the customer's trade. Hey, and here's the best thing about walking a trade before you go on a demo, okay? And number one is, it allows you to find common ground with that customer. I mean, think about that. You go over to that customer's trade, you ask them a simple question. Hey, are y'all adding a vehicle or are you gonna be replacing one? They say, we're replacing one. Oh, really, is it that one right there? Yeah, man, that's a great car. Did you buy that new or did it have a few miles on it when you got it? Well, no, we got it brand new. Man, that's great. Now you're starting to walk around that customer's car. What are you gonna learn about that customer? Aren't you going to learn everything you need to know to help sell them the vehicle? And once you start walking around that, you'll see bumper stickers, you'll see car seats, toddler seats, golf clubs, tow hitch for their boat, ski racks. You'll learn everything you know. In fact, sometimes you're going to see it spotless and the tank is empty. What's that tell you? Tells me they're ready to buy the car. So you learn so much about that customer walking around the car. Then I want you to ask them simple questions. Hey, what's most important to you on your next vehicle that you didn't have on your current one? And what did you have on your current vehicle that you want to make sure you do have on your next vehicle? What's that customer going to tell you? Aren't they going to tell you everything you need to know to sell them the vehicle? And you're going to learn how they use the car, what their lifestyle is, what their recreation is. So now when I start presenting and demonstrating my vehicle, haven't I found common ground? Haven't I found out their hot buttons? So won't it make it easier to create that mental ownership when I'm doing my customized high impact presentation demonstration with a customer on our vehicle? So it allows you to slow the process down. Plus, think about the customer. When you walk them over to their car, isn't that kind of their comfort zone? I mean, isn't that customer comfortable walking around their car? I remember as a kid playing tag, right? Any of you guys ever play tag? When you played tag, you had that one tree that was safe base, right? As long as you were touching that tree, nobody could tag you. You weren't gonna be it. It's the same thing with a customer. As long as they're around that car, they start selling you. They're in their comfort zone. They're in their safe place. So now the customer's telling you all about their car. Now as you're walking around that car, you're gonna do the silent walk around part. It just doesn't need to be so silent anymore. When you walk around that car, and if you look at the car and there's a dent in the quarter panel, ask that customer, hey, have you guys had an estimate done on that? Look, most of these customers know about it. Heck, half of them have been online booking out their car. Some of them have done Tim, they've done Trade and Marketplace, so they have an idea of what their car's worth anyway. They may not know about the bald tires, but I can point some of those out. But it doesn't have to be silent. It doesn't have to be old school. But I want all these things done prior to the demo. Once you start doing a pre-demo trade walk, you find out their hot buttons, you find common ground, you're able to walk around their trade to get them kind of back to reality on their car. You gather information on fuel economy. You find out what the mileage is. Heck, in real life, here's what you guys need to do. You need to take out your phone, and almost all of you guys in your CRM, you have an app that you can pull up. Like right now, I have Dealer Socket on my phone right here. All I'd have to do with that customer, check this out. I click on the VIN scanner for trade. Okay, I scan the VIN number. Now all of a sudden, that VIN, that vehicle information goes right into the CRM. And some of you guys, it'll push it into vAuto or into Auto Exchange or into First Look, whatever your used car management tool is. So now, check this out. By doing that, by scanning the VIN number, then I'm going to scan the customer's driver's license. At the same time, now here's what happens. I populated all the customer's personal information. I've put their name, address. I have all their vehicle information on their trade in the CRM. So it populates it in there. So now when we come back from the demo, guess what we don't have to do? Well, I don't have to do a trade walk and neg that customer out. I don't have to plug all the customer's information into the CRM because it's already in there. My managers already have the information on the customer's trade, so now that speeds that whole process up also in the negotiation, and we all know this. We know slow kills in a negotiation. By doing your trade walk early on, pre-demo, find out information on them, their hot buttons, all the trade-in information that you need. You scan it into your CRM, their driver's license in the CRM. Now I come back from a demo. In real life, I could have that first worksheet back to the customer within 5, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes max of coming back from a demo. And all I have to do is get a payoff from the customer, maybe do a quick questionnaire on the vehicle if it's been in any accidents, but we already know most of that anyway from Carfax. So now I'm speeding this whole process up, and we all know that customers hate how long it takes to negotiate. So we've just potentially bought back 15 to 20 minutes. And now when I'm sitting down doing my negotiation, now the customer's still excited. Now the customer, some of you guys have heard the customer's under the ether. Well, they are. And my goal for you guys is to be able to speed up your negotiation process, is to make it 30 minutes from the point you come back from the demo to the point you set that customer at your desk. I want to have this thing wrapped up in 30 minutes, because anything past 30 minutes, that's when the ether starts wearing off, the excitement starts wearing off. It's, I always talk about in class, it'd be like you guys having surgery. Surgery's going to last an hour, your ether's only going to last 30 minutes. How's that going to work out for you? Yeah, not so good. That's exactly what happens to our customers, is our negotiation goes on, 35, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours in some stores, and we wonder why the customers start going sideways in the middle of the negotiation, because they're getting buyer's remorse because it's taking too long. They're talking themselves out of buying. So by doing our trade walk early, gathering all the information on their trade, all their hot buttons, using that in my presentation demonstration, now I'm able to streamline the negotiation, and you will see happier customers, because we know slow kills. Let's be more efficient. In the entire sales process, it's going to make your negotiation easier. But just remember, before you go on that demo, you walk the customer's trade. It helps you find common ground. It helps you gather information on their hot buttons, and it allows you to set up the negotiation later so you can be more efficient and more effective in your negotiations.